Mm. Hello, everyone. My name is Gail Loney. I am a stadium stomper, and I am a block captain. And I'm speaking to you from right now the perspective of an organized block. I live in North Central, and living in a uh, Black neighborhood that has been designated by the Philadelphia Police Department as a bad neighborhood is one of the issues that keeps the police at bay, and constantly keeps our people in battle with that um, force, I'm going to say. Um, Additionally, I am a former military person, so I understand the need for order. I understand the need also for rules and guidelines, and very much so, I believe that some of the police should not be carrying weapons, not here with the job that they are supposed to be doing to protect and serve our communities and our people, and not just the Black people. They're supposed to be serving all of us, but because of the nature of the police and how they came into being, Black people have always been the target of the police force. In my community, we're still the target. And currently, we have a battle with a new 22nd District Police headquarters being built in our neighborhood without our consent, without our input, and they thought without our knowledge, because the things that they do in Black and brown communities, they don't do in other communities. When you build something of significance and you build something that is impactful and something as high impactful as a police station in a neighborhood, you have what you're supposed to have is community meetings. That did not happen in our neighborhood, and it still has not happened in this neighborhood. And so now currently we're finding out that during COVID-19, there have been meetings to discuss a new police station in my neighborhood. So that right there is even more ammunition to sit down and really say, how are you going to police me when you can't even police yourself? And unfortunately, this goes not just to the mentality of the police department and the people who are in charge and who run it and who've been making the guidelines for it, but it goes straight up to the top. Nobody gets a hands off in this whole campaign as far as I'm concerned. We have a mayor who sat in city council for the past 20 years, and now that he's mayor, he acts like he didn't know what was going on in the city. However, he is very much party to all of the shenanigans that have been and still are going on in this community. We have city council that's sitting up there, in addition, who've also been there for long periods of time. And unfortunately, for the Black community, our communities look the same, they're policed the same because it's the same mentality, okay? The sexism and racism and men in blue mentality that perpetuates our police force and our police department, it has to change, it has to stop. They do need training. I'm going to go here. They do need training. They need to be trained, but they also need background checks. When they have had personal issues in their lives, that needs to be brought out, especially when you're carrying a weapon. You cannot be carrying a weapon without knowledge of the weapon. You cannot be carrying a weapon without knowledge of who you are. If you're fearful of what you do, then maybe you should not be doing it, okay? And you really should not be doing it while you're walking around with, a deadly weapon on your hip, and you're afraid of the very people who you're supposed to be serving and protecting. I need people to serve and protect me who care about me. I need them to look like me when they're in uniform and when they're out of uniform. Underneath my brown skin, we're all the same. We have to realize that. And with the police force, we should not have to be afraid of the very people who are supposed to be there to help and protect us. We should not be in constant battle and constant conflict. My point is the FOP, uh, McNesby, the mayor, city council, all of those people are working together, and they all need to sit down and realize that the community is the ones who pay their salaries. The people of the city are the ones who pay their salaries. They are supposed to be working for us. And so they need to consider every point that has been made this evening regarding this situation, and every point that has been made throughout this whole unfortunate incident that occurred. But in everything, there is a silver lining. I am so sorry that someone had to lose their life for us to stand up and just go crazy, because you do. You got to go crazy, you know, and unfortunately, they taught us how to go crazy. They taught us how to go crazy. And so now don't fault me because I'm doing what you do. You just don't like it now. Now you see how it feels. Now maybe you'll understand. But, you know, with all of that being said, there is a lot of work for all of us to do. And I think what we have been doing as individuals and as groups, whether we've been protesting, marching, on city council, testifying, writing letters, making phone calls, you know, I have to applaud all of you and all of us, because in this time of turmoil, it is really refreshing to see. I am a person who is at risk from, you know, being outside for COVID, but I have been doing my part on Zoom, writing letters, making phone calls. So I appreciate all that has been done by all of you that are out there. I feel sometimes so overwhelmed, but I feel so proud. And thank you for the opportunity to speak here this evening.
Thank you, Gail. Really appreciate your presence here with us tonight.